What is going on, everybody, and welcome back into Barley Studios. Now, today in the studio, we're going to be painting a pumpkin. Now, this is super exciting. We actually got this project probably about a week ago or so, and this is going to be an entry into my daughter's school. What are the regulations there, helper? My daughter will be assisting with this project because it is a project for her school. So just be aware that she will be doing some of the arts and crafts for this project. But the kicker is we only have one night to create this. So although she'll be helping out with the process, we'll also be using some clays along the way. I'll be detail painting it a little bit later tonight and finalizing it so it can dry and we can submit this in only 2 days' time. So some of the regulations for this project is no carved or cut pumpkins. Very important here. And what we'll probably do is we'll probably start making painted pumpkins here on the channel more often. So maybe we'll start a new collection or playlist here on the channel for painted pumpkins or organic matter or watermelons or something like that. So some of the rules and regulations for this project is think of your favorite book and design a pumpkin based on your favorite character from that book. Purchase a pumpkin that is no larger than the size of a basketball. I think we have succeeded in that. Helper, hand me the pumpkin.
It's the baby.
Oh, it's so heavy.
It's a baby.
It's a little baby pumpkin. Super cool. We'll sit that off to the side here.
It's sleeping.
It's a sleeping pumpkin. Gather your decorations and supplies. Acrylic paints or permanent markers work best. Watercolors tend to run, and spray paints will gradually dissolve the pumpkins. I don't think there's anything wrong with spray painting the outside of the paint to kind of seal it in, but we may not do that for this project in itself. You can add materials like yarn, buttons, wiggly eyes, etc. Decorate your googly eyes. They're googly eyes, right? Decorate your pumpkin without carving, cutting, or poking holes in it because we don't want nasty pumpkins in the school library. Fill in the blanks on the back of this page and submit it for the pumpkin contest. Of course, all children will win something when they submit something. It's not an actual contest. It's more like a participation fun project thing. And it says that you can take your pumpkin home later on in the next month. So very, very cool things. So we'll go ahead and we will be entering that in. So we'll set the instructions off to the side. Again, we do have this little pumpkin right here. And it is a cute little booger. And we're going to be painting that in a minute. And the book character that we're going to be choosing is Assistant. The Itty-Bitty
Kitty Corn.
Kitty Corn assistant. Very good. Itty-Bitty Kitty Corn. And as you can see, it's a cute little kitten who wants to be a unicorn. Very cool. And we will do a reading of this at the very end of the video. So stay tuned to the very end and we'll do a fun little reading of this book and then just showcasing that on the camera. So we're going to be making a pumpkin that looks like the kitty corn's head. So along the way we will be not only just base coating it and then detail painting it in different pinks and light greens and dark greens, but we're also going to be making ears and a horn out of, throw it here, throw it. Good catch. Okay. We're going to be using Creative Paperclay Delight to create this. This is a beginner grade air dry modeling compound and it is super porous, super easy to work with, and is great for beginners of all levels. I was sent a care package from Creative Paperclay and there's a few packs of this in there. So of course we're going to use their Creative Paperclay Delight to create the horns and the ears for this awesome little kitty corn. So let's go ahead and get some pink paint out right here. And we bought this at Walmart. It's Essentials, just basic magenta, and it's going to be the base coat for the pumpkin. So let's go ahead and get your paintbrush out, helper. And alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and start off with a clean slate here. We're going to get a piece of computer paper out here. And then we're going to get our big old pumpkin. Oh, huge. I'm also going to get you a small little palette tray here. And we're going to go ahead and get this magenta out here.
Yay!
Time when I move. You ready? Okay, stop. Ooh, very good color, isn't it? You like that color?
Yeah, I like the poopies.
Try it. Ooh, wow. That is some wonderful color.
Yeah, it covers up.
Absolutely amazing color.
It covers up the. How amazing.
Now you can even paint the stem, so even if you want to paint the stem, you can, because we're going to cover it up with clay in a little while, right?
Right.
So go ahead and give it a full coverage, and actually go ahead and paint the very top part first. That way it can be drying while you paint the outside edges. And you can make the paint on as thick as you want, so go ahead and use as much of the paint as you can.
To help you. You might. Because
Art is all about having fun with it.
So you don't make a mess on.
Get all the way to the bottom.
You're my assistant.
Get all the way to the bottom. I'm your assistant. I like it.
You're now my assistant.
Thank you.
Because
When you try to, let me give you some advice. So when you get some paint on it, try to do this down like this.
Oh,
Okay? Because I don't want to see a bunch of paint strokes going this way. Stay with the lines of the curving of the ribs of the pumpkin, okay?
Oh, okay.
And just keep, so after you get full coverage, you keep it smooth. Just keep it smooth, okay? Alright?
I could win the challenge.
There's no winning, man. It's just having fun. It's fun to have fun in the studio, right?
Right.
You mean rotate it? Rotation.
Need to get the bottom.
You get the bottom. Okay, go ahead and say perfect.
Perfect.
This painting is what?
Perfect.
Perfect.
That way cats say.
Human cats. I'm saying it because we're making a kitty corn.
Kitty corn. Alright, so that's part of the project is we're going to wait for this to dry, obviously. But while it's drying, we're going to go ahead and get the unicorn horn kind of rolled out. So I'm going to kind of set this off a little bit to the side, but we're going to need it. So the horn is supposed to face forward on the face, right? So the horn's going to come out this way, that way, but so the eyes will be right here, right?
No, it has to be like right here.
But if we do that, then the horn's going to be facing this way.
Hmm.
So we could just make it to where the horn, like the eyes will be slightly higher, so the pumpkin's looking up at us. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So as you can see, it's still pretty wet overall. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Don't touch it.
And it's
It's still wet some places, so we're going to give them a minute to dry. We're going to open up this new pack of clay. Again, this is... What is this?
dry clay.
Delight.
Delight.
What kind of clay is this?
Delight clay.
Delight clay. Alright. Now you used this not too long ago to have some fun making like a kitty cat on a floaty unicorn, right?
Right.
We gotta finish that.
Remember I
Alright.
showed you that shirt.
Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and zoom in. So what I want you to do is I want you to tear off a piece in the overall size of the horn you think we may need.
Horn?
How long do you think the horn needs to be?
The horn needs to be that long.
So like this is too long?
Yeah.
Okay, let me find something of the right length. That's too long. What about a popsicle stick?
Trying to work on there.
How about
It has to be the right size as that.
how about that tall? I think it's good.
Let me see.
That's good for the size. No, look at me. So this is the size that we're gonna go with. I broke that off so we can get a shorter length. So roll it out right here. Roll it out on there so people can see what you're doing. So you're gonna mush up the clay and you're gonna kind of roll it. You're mushing it and rolling it, and then put it up against the popsicle stick so you can kind of get a bearing of like the size. All right, so make sure you get all the wrinkles out of it. Make sure you get all the wrinkles out. So knead your fingers across it like this. So, you see how Daddy's working in front of the camera? So see how I'm working all this out? And then we're going to get it in the general shape, right? But look, you got to do this and get all the wrinkles out. Look at me. Look at all these wrinkles I've got to get out of here. See? Okay. Can you try to get those out? There you go. Get all the wrinkles out. Look at that one right there. Try to smooth them all out on camera.
Now now we're gonna tear it.
We're not going to tear it. We're going to slide it down onto... Hold on. Take it, lay it down, and roll like this and taper the end of it. Smooth it out. There you go. Alright, so you're making a point, right? Okay, so look, then you're going to take this. You got a point? Alright, you got a point? You got to get some of those wrinkles out.
Okay.
Let me help you. I'm going to help you get all the wrinkles out, okay?
Okay.
It's pretty good. I'm cool with that, right? You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we're going to have it at an angle.
Just like that.
Yep, and I want you to, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it. Can you hold on to here?
Yeah.
Watch how we do it at an angle. We're going to go slow. Hold on to it. We're going to roll it forward. Every time we go through it, we're going to angle it up more.
Not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, it is. It's spiraled. It's only because you see only one side of it. It's only because you see only one side of the unicorn horn does it look that way. Okay, so now, hold on to it gently. Don't squeeze it. Don't squeeze it. I'm going to pull the pumpkin back into view. Alright, so we're going to bring the pumpkin back around here. Hold on. Alright, don't squeeze hard. So we're going to gently pull it down here. We're going to gently slide it down. Gentle.
You're putting some.
I know. Well, we're going to kind of paint it later anyways, but...
Yeah. And then get some message.
Okay. Alright, so it's on there now, right? The stem's not visible?
Not
Not visible. So what now I'm doing is I'm just working the shape a little bit so that it has a little bit of better of a curvature.
We need to get her whiskers.
We'll get those later.
Arms and eyes.
We'll get those later.
But we're gonna have to paint them. It needs to be perfect.
Alright, everybody, so we're going to be reading a story called Itty-Bitty Kitty Corn, and that is written by Shannon Hale, and it is illustrated, I assume, by Leuyen Pham. Now, in the very beginning of this book, we see here that the kitten is admiring the unicorn on which she has a poster on her wall. She thinks to herself and wonders, I think I have an idea. So, of course, she goes into a big box of crafts. We are all about crafting here in the studio, so it's a great opportunity to pull out some paints and glue. And what is the kitten creating? A unicorn horn. Of course, the unicorn horn does need some glitter as well. And we, of course, see the kitten putting this on her head. But what makes it even better is a little string to attach it, as well as... some yarn, some purple yarn, and that is where you see the little bow at the bottom of her chin. And at the front of the book, there's a notation for Holly and Jody, the original gecko and parakeet, which is which, we'll never tell. SHNLP. In the information at the very beginning of the book, it also shows the copyright information as well as printed in the United States. This edition, first printing in January of 2022. And the book design is by Pamela Natarantonio. The illustrations for this book were created entirely in Procreate. Very cool. That is the same Procreate that we use here in the studio for our own thumbnail creation as well as digital art. So pretty cool. So let's go ahead and enjoy this nice story of the kitty. Who knows what's going to happen, but we are going to find out. Starting off with page number 1, you guys. Kitty thinks she might be a unicorn. A horn sits atop her fuzzy head, pointing up, up, up to the sky. She feels so perfectly unicorny. Look at me, says Kitty, as she sees a picture of a unicorn in the mirror. You're not a unicorn, Pootie-Pie, says Parakeet. You're curled up like a cat, Fluffy Fry, says Gecko. Kitty stands tall. She prances on her pawed, clawed unicorn hooves. Look at me, says Kitty. You're still not a unicorn, Fuzzy Hiney, says Parakeet. You have a stubby tail, teeny tiny, says Gecko. Kitty closes her eyes. She concentrates, and poof! Her tail puffs up fat. Look at me, says Kitty. You're never gonna be a unicorn, funny foo, says Parakeet. You meow in your sleep, Woofy Woo, says Gecko. Nay, says Kitty. Nay, nay. She sticks her pink nose into their ear in case they didn't hear. Nay! You're a cat, says Parakeet. And that's that, says Gecko. Kitty's unicorn heart beats hard. She lifts her front hoof and sweeps her magnificent tail. The sun is low, the shadows are long. At last she looks exactly how she feels. Ha ha! Ha ha! Look at me now, yells Kitty. Wow, says Parakeet, astonished. Woo, says Gecko, impressed. Finally they see me, thinks Kitty. Until, clop, clop, clop. Gecko points up with his fat tipped finger. Now that's a unicorn! The unicorn brandishes his horn. He sweeps his magnificent tail. He neighs a mighty neigh. Suddenly Kitty feels no bigger than a ball of lint. Flop, flop, flop. Pardon me, says Unicorn. Yes, says Kitty. I so admire your fuzzy ears and silver whiskers, says Unicorn. You do? Says Kitty. And I wonder, Unicorn looks right and then left. Did you know? What? Says Kitty. Did you know? Says Unicorn, whispering now. What? What? Yells Kitty. Did you know? Says Unicorn. That I'm a Kittycorn? Kitty gasps. Her tiny tail twitches with joy. Yes, says Kitty. I see that now. You are a Kittycorn. You are a fuzzy, furry, adorable Kittycorn. Unicorn nods. I knew another Kittycorn like you would see. Yes, says Kitty. I see you. Kitty and Unicorn are both Kittycorns. Kitty trots on her soft, tiny paws, and Unicorn pads on his huge golden hooves. They both like to toss their manes and brandish their horns. They both like to scamper after bumblebees and stretch out in a patch of grass. And then the sun is low. Their shadows merge till you can no longer tell one from the other. But do you think that's the end of the story, guys? I don't think so. As you can see, the parakeet and the gecko surprises the parakeet with a horn of his very own. A little top heavy. Tilts and turns and flips over, tries to get out of it, and then he gets upset because the parakeet is laughing, smashes the horn down on the parakeet, and the parakeet says, you know what? Maybe we can both be unicorns. So he gives him 2 smaller horns. And of course, the gecko steals them both away. And as you can see in the lower right-hand corner of this page, the Kittycorn is showing the unicorn how to put whiskers on his face. And what can we expect the little gecko to be saying? I'm a fire-breathing dragon! Or I assume. And that is the end of the book, guys. Alrighty, you guys, so as we finish up the last little bit of painting here, we're going to use this dragonfly glaze. And of course, previously we also used some metallics and color shifting paint on the eyes, and as well as over the entire body, just to give it a little bit of shine so we could have a little bit of a shimmer when it's sitting in the library for my daughter's school. Now, of course, I do show her this awesome little guy the day after. So it actually took us about maybe 2 or 3 hours to completely paint this out and sculpt it. And the only reason it took so long is because we had to wait for that air dry clay, Delight air dry clay, to dry overnight. Again, the horn as well as the ears and the little mouthpiece right there are sculpted out of Delight Paperclay. Very cool. Overall, I think the little kitty corn turned out absolutely fantastic, and it was very fun for our very first pumpkin painting here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Check out some of the other awesome videos that I have coming out over the next few weeks in previous videos. I have all sorts of tips and tricks and fun projects, and maybe we'll see some more pumpkin paintings over the next year or so. Otherwise, guys, I really do hope you had a spooky season. Enjoy the rest of your holidays for the year, and I will catch you on the next awesome project. Later, guys.